but they're in direct contact with the past. It's as though you cranked up the old computer and it's feeding you whatever the brain knows, and the brain, I hear, knows all, and will tell all. And so Herb went back, and at 11, the question was always the same. The hypnotist said, "Hi, who are you? Is there anything special about today?" Well, each day he took was special because it was always Herb's birthday. The only two things that the guy knew, the hypnotist, going into this hypnosis, were the fact that Herb had had a contact on a certain date and that his birthday. He hadn't read our book, he hadn't read any of the literature, and he wasn't involved. So it was a pretty clinically clean experiment. And each time Herb was asked to write his name, and at 11 he says, "Can you write your name?" And Herb says, "No." He says, "I can only print." It was moments like that that were very impressive, and then watching Herb Schirmer, 29, laboriously printing his name as he would at 11. Very interesting. It's another lecture in itself, or another discussion. But the hypnoses were both very impressive to us who were there, and watching Herb come up to the moment, live through it again, and experience what followed that was not available to his conscious mind was very dramatic. Herb was hypnotized twice before, once courtesy of the Air Force, and once by a private hypnotist, a doctor called Loring Williams from New Hampshire. And each time the hypnotist told him that he would remember when he came out of the trance. He would freely remember everything that happened. And he didn't. And he didn't remember again when Katz told him he would. Now, part of it's come back, and the reason I bring that up is sort of a side issue. Herb remembers a good deal, most probably, of what happened. Some from the hypnotic sessions, when he's relived the experience, and then after, when that was reinforced by his hearing the tape. So he heard himself saying. But really, he had to hear it from the tape to remember it. He learned it from the tape. I suppose remember is the wrong word. He learned about his experience from the tape. Some leaked through from the experience of itself. So he has and we've been watching very carefully, and I'm really mean. I mean, if Herb says something that he didn't say before, I say, "You didn't say that before." And what it turns out is that we all are, unless we're really special kind of automatons, we tell a story as we are. And it's really not always the same way. And sometimes you respond to pressure from the audience. The two people who are with you can exert a pressure on you. It's a hard thing to tell a complicated story that you only know from having learned it secondhand. And yet it's your story. Think about that a moment, if it's clear. I mean, it happened to you, you went through it, and yet you've had to be taught it through listening to a tape.
The Schirmer story contains many of the classic features that recur in well-researched contactee reports, from bad headaches to suppressed memory. Next to the case of Barney and Betty Hill, the New Hampshire couple who, under hypnosis, accounted for several lost hours aboard a spaceship, Schirmer's is the best documented case of its kind on record.